What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Boy, am I excited for this interview. Folks, we have a legendary offensive lineman in the house here today. If I went over how many times he's gotten awards or been nominated for something, it could practically take up the whole episode, man. But just on a real high level, man, guys, I have three-time first team all-conference captain, one of the most electric guards in this year's 2023 NFL draft. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take and welcome JAXSON KIRKLAND, University of Washington. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. Dude, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Man, you've had a lot going on. You were in the East-West Shrine Bowl. You were at the NFL Combine. A lot has been going on, man. How's this whole journey been for you?
Yeah, it's obviously been a little bit of a whirlwind, and it's something you're prepared for, and you hear stories about guys who've gone through it before, and get an understanding of what to expect, all the trials, and how stressful, how much how busy it can get, but it's very enjoyable too, because it's surreal that I'm going through this process, and it's a once in a lifetime thing, and I've worked so hard to be here and to take the game of football to where I am now. It's pretty special.
That's amazing, man. Did you ever imagine it ending this way when you first became a redshirt freshman in Washington in 2017?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you always do in the back of your mind. You have aspirations, and I've always been a goal setter, so it was a goal of mine to make it here. But still, I mean, I still can't. It's almost like a dream, because it's like, wow, because it goes by fast too. I swear, just yesterday, I was thinking about being here as a redshirt freshman, and now I'm already just graduated and moving on. So yeah, no, it's surreal.
Man, that's amazing. You're such a tribute to the Washington Huskies, man. And what's pretty cool about it is man, you let the process play out, man. You did everything that you set out to accomplish, man. And now here we are, NFL draft, literally just next month. I think we got about 5 weeks away. So, and any nerves going into the draft next month?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, there's so much uncertainty with how this thing goes. I mean, you just don't know where you're going to end up, and where I'll be at the end of next month. But I'm also, there's a lot of excitement though too, because there's great things ahead.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And you look at all the NFL teams who are hurting for good O linemen, man. It's the most, in my humble opinion, most underappreciated position in football, man. So and heavily relied upon, right? But take us from the beginning. When did you first fall in love with the game of football?
Yeah, I would say growing up, it was kind of one of those things that wasn't forced upon me, because I had a father who played, and he played in the NFL as well. So it's easy to be like, oh, that's from right out of birth, this was your destiny. And while there is maybe some of that, it was more so me kind of as a fan growing up. I'll never forget watching those first Husky games as a kid, going up to Husky Stadium when I was 8, 9 years old, and seeing them play, and the atmosphere, how electric it was. And I'd say that was really the point, seeing it firsthand and understanding kind of the atmosphere and the energy involved and how huge this sport is. I just was hooked, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And seeing guys getting touchdowns, making big hits, stuff like that, I mean, I ate it all up. So after watching that, I was I wanted to play as soon as I could.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, did you always play on the O-line?
Unfortunately, I say unfortunately because obviously I love being an offensive lineman. It's what I am. But as a kid, I mean, you go in. Of course, no one wants to be, especially when you're growing up. All you know is kind of the flashy players, guys scoring touchdowns, catching the ball. No one hears really much about the old linemen. But yeah, I was always a bigger kid, so it's I was humbled quickly. It's hey, you're not carrying the ball. This is not for you. You're way too large. You need to put your hand in the dirt. And obviously, I learned to love it.
What is your routine? What did your routine typically look like while you were at Washington?
Yeah, it was very busy, and there's certainly a method to the madness, because I'm really routine driven. You have to be, especially as a student athlete in college. I mean, on top of all the football stuff and getting better there, you got to remember that the other half, or if not more at times, consumed of your day is school. And you have to prepare for that, because you have to stay eligible. You have to keep great grades. It's not like you can just coast through. You're going to get exposed in the classroom if you're doing it that way. So you had to be accountable in that aspect. So, yeah, very routine driven. And the biggest thing was going into the week, I never changed what I did. I watched guys before me, great players before me, how they did it, and kind of pick their brains and learn from them. But it's just funny because this greatness is it's very boring, as people would say, because it's like, why is that guy so good, and why is he so great? And it's like, I'm just doing the same routine every single week, every single day. I'm doing, whether it's treatment for my body or extra tutoring, things like that, extra workouts, all that. It's all, I guess, nailed out at the top of the week. I know what I'm doing going into the week, and it's nothing special. It's just I'm showing up each day, and that's the biggest part about it.
Yeah. And Jackson, you said something very important that a lot of people really need to hear. Oftentimes we see, whether it be an Odell Beckham or O lineman or D lineman, no matter the position, and we see, wow, that is what success looks like. But in reality, it's actually what you just said. It's getting up bright and early. It's studying. It's being that college student who also is training to go to the NFL. So it's double training. It's managing your time and also feeding the fire. I mean, you can't have a fire without putting wood in it, right? So that leads me to my next question, man. What's something that keeps you hungry to keep going in this beautiful game we call football?
Yeah, it's certainly the chip on my shoulder. I would say that's what I'm motivated by. If someone telling me I can't do something, I want to do it 10 times over. And it's funny. I find little things. Some people might say I'm crazy with it or things like that, but you got to find what motivates you, because what else are we doing here?
Yeah.
But no, it's just the fact that, examples like I was the last offer given in my class at the University of Washington, the last commit. They gave it to me a weekend signing day, and there's no disrespect. Obviously, I love all my coaches and everything. It's just, that's how recruiting goes. It was just a, harder process for me in terms of getting a University of Washington offer. I'm thankful it finally happened, but just remembering at the end of the day that, man, you're the last guy on that list, especially when my father played there, I thought it'd be a no-brainer. So something like that is certainly is what's fueled me all the way through my career, is just remembering that there's still doubters out there who don't believe in you.
Yeah, that's so cool. You stay hungry. I mean, a lot of times we see NFL kids of NFL legends or NFL players. They don't, a lot of times they live the comfortable life. They lived in that really nice suburb everybody's trying to get into, right? So the hunger may not necessarily be there. So I find it fascinating. And you look at your body of work, right? I'm like, first team all conference, man, team captain. I mean, just the list goes on, man. And for you to stay hungry and show it on the field and off the field is amazing. That being said, NFL draft is right around the corner. I know we just had the combine as well, too. How has your training been going so far?
It's been going great. I spent the first 2 months of it, January, February, down at Exos in Phoenix, Arizona. And, that was a great experience there. I mean, new people, getting to be in a competitive atmosphere, training with some of the best that, enroll into the Exos program and spend their pre-combine training there. And then now, after the combine, I'm up in Seattle training currently, getting ready for a pro day, which is just 2 weeks out.
Very cool. Now, next question is, what was your aha moment? Because you've been playing football pretty much your whole life, where you realize, like, man, I'm not your average player. One day I'm going to make it pro. What was that moment for you?
Yeah. I think it came when I was a redshirt freshman back in 2018. I just got done redshirting, like many freshmen do, just getting stronger, getting bigger to play college football. So as 2018, I came in as a redshirt freshman, and I set it out as a goal to be a starter that year and start day one. And I achieved that in fall camp, won a starting job at right guard. But our very first game of that season, I won the job, but I ended up having one of the biggest, challenges in terms of football of my life to that day that I've had in front of me. And that was, we were playing Auburn that year. And they had Derek Brown, who ended up being a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And so really my first college start was against Derek Brown, and he's a heck of an interior defensive lineman. And obviously going into that, you can imagine the nerves are pretty crazy, because not only it's my first time playing, but here you go, here's your first time playing, but oh wait, you're probably going against the best defensive tackle in the country to start your career off. And I took it as a great opportunity. It's it's why you play this game, to be on huge stages like that. But I left that game. I mean, obviously it wasn't all perfect. It's like you're gonna have your freshman mistakes or first time playing, especially against a great player. But I also held my own and did a great job on, I'd say, more of those plays. So walking away from that and being like, wow, I really just did that, competing on the field with all these a great Auburn defense, and it's my first time playing. Like, and this is just me as a freshman. Like, imagine what my ceiling could be. So it motivated me to go harder, and that was the aha moment for sure.
Man, what a story. I wasn't expecting that. Like, that's pretty cool. And I was reading, your first game starting was against Auburn in 2018, man. So now you have there's not Derek Brown, but there's other really good D linemen on that line. And that school is known, even see in this year's draft, they have Derek Hall coming into the draft, right? And other good D linemen.
Always putting out players.
Yeah, man. So they're known for having good D linemen. For you to hold your own like that, very, very cool, man. That being said, you look at the Washington Huskies, and it's very much like a family environment, man. Like, you guys are like one big family. Some of the best fans in college football, mind you. I've never had any quarrels, man. The Washington Husky fans are great. What are some things that you're hoping to get out of the next team that you'll be on in the NFL?
Yeah, certainly a great culture and brotherhood aspect, because, I mean, we're all still growing as people, and these are going to be large moments of my life, and I'm sure bigger trials and tribulations that I faced even in college. And I want to be surrounded by the right people that are going to guide me through those, and people that I can learn from too, how to become a better teammate, better man, all of those. And I just want to, the great thing about the NFL is really, how much better obviously players get, because, you're getting these world-class coaching, and you're, whether you like it or not, you're surrounded by the best players, and, it may not be fun to get beat on certain plays, but you're going to get so much better during that. So I'm looking to just to maximize my potential, not only as a player, but I guess as a person too, being in a great locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that being said, we know NFL teams, they do an abundance of research. They hit up high school coaches. They may even call a next door neighbor. I've heard. I mean, they do a lot of research along with the scouts and whatnot. What's something you want NFL teams to know about you that perhaps maybe they don't know about you already?
Right. Yeah. I just want them to understand how much pride I take in playing this game. It's not just a hobby for me or something I like to do just because, I like how far it can take me. It's literally my livelihood, and the game brings me joy. So I want them to understand that I don't care about all the flashiness that can come with playing at such a high level, all the cool perks about it. I just, at the end of the day, I just want to strap it on and mix it up with some people.
Yeah. Excellent, man. And then last question of the day, what are some of your goals throughout your NFL career?
Yeah. Obviously winning Super Bowls is a huge one, team goal for me. And I really, at the end of the day, I mean, individual accolades are great. At times that's not really things you can control, because as we know, there's other things involved with that, voting, politics, all that. I certainly am going to push myself to be the best player, but I'm really more focused on the team goals. And with that, I just want to be a part of an offensive line that's remembered for generations. Kind of, I always think about now it's the Commanders, but their O-line back in the 90s, they call them the Hogs, and you just hear how great they were. Or in the 90s too, with Troy Aikman, you got the Great Wall of Dallas. I just want to be a part of an O-line where it's all like-minded guys like myself, and I can just reflect and be so happy about all the stories and how great we were, and just leave a legacy, I guess, as an O-line unit.
Man, that's amazing, man. I hope my team draft you, but if not, you got a fan of me for life, brother.
Appreciate that.
That is so cool, man. NFL teams, man, this is your guy. Even if you got a guard, man, you want a competition, bring in JAXSON Kirkland. He is your man. Awesome, man. Well, Jackson, thank you so much again for coming on the show. I cannot thank you enough, man. You're one of the biggest stars in this year's draft, man. And as somebody who played college football as well, too, I know how underappreciated the O-linemen get, man, but how much we are relied on, man, for running game, for pass block, you name it, right? So cannot thank you enough. But before you go, any shout outs?
Yeah, I just want to shout out my mom and dad. I can never thank them enough for how much they've done for me, and I really wouldn't be here without them up to this point. I mean, they've helped me so much, whether it's emotionally, all the above, hearing all the stories, all that. I would not be where I am today without those two, and it's going to continue to carry me.
That's excellent. That is excellent. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take and follow the story of JAXSON Kirkland, man, guard from University of Washington, go down below in the description of this video. I'm going to have all social media stuff down there. Give him a follow. Get inspired. This guy is amazing. He's going to rock it on the next level. I am sure of it. Also, as well, comment below. Let me know how this interview took and made you feel. We'll catch you guys next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith. Thanks for watching another episode of the Touchdown with Doug Smith, where I cover all 32 NFL teams plus NFL exclusive interviews. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell for the alerts, comment below, and we'll catch you next time on the Touchdown with Doug Smith.